Skyscrapers, best young core in the league. See, this is why, Angel Reese, you got to learn how to just chill out sometime. Now you look crazy. I told y'all, remember, I told y'all.
Angel Reese's Reebok deal is falling apart fast, and the basketball world can't stop watching the train wreck unfold.
Angel Reese has been absolutely fantastic in the month of July. We are not questioning that. But today, this was the hate watch of dreams. Angel Reese coming in 2 of 6 with 9 turnovers in garbage time. And you better believe there is no better player in the entire WNBA than Angel Reese in garbage time.
She was supposed to be the next big thing, a champion, a culture changer, the face of Reebok's comeback.
We have some Angel Reese news, man. She came out and said, I'm at the top of the scouting report when it comes to playing against teams.
But now, commentators are literally laughing at her on live TV, and her highlight reels are viral for all the wrong reasons.
And now, folks, listen to this. Listen to this. We have the commentators that are actually laughing at this.
To be able to attack and finish inside, and Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it blocked.
They realized that they were laughing and then quickly stopped themselves like, oh, I can't laugh. I'm live right now.
If you believe this deal is doomed, go ahead and comment Reebok below. How did Reebok go from betting big on Angel Reese to quietly preparing for what might be the most awkward shoe launch in basketball history? Let's break it down. Reebok made headlines when they signed Angel Reese as the face of their basketball revival. Shaquille O'Neal himself backed the move. The promise was huge. A signature shoe in 2026, fresh energy, and a bold new face of the brand. But in the WNBA, that face is turning red. In one brutal sequence, Angel Reese missed 4 consecutive putbacks in 12 seconds. 2 were blocked. The clip exploded online, except not as a moment of resilience.
Let's get it! Only lost by 25 this time! Bang! That stuffer coming hot with the stats. She went 0 of 8, 5 turnovers, and she got 1 hit stick. Bang! She had 12 rebounds. 8 of them were the me-bounds, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's get it going. How about it? Bang! Again, there's another me-bound. Let's do it again. Bang! Another me-bound. Do it again. Bang! Another me-bound. One more time. Bang! Wait, you're allowed to pass the ball? Someone tell her when you travel, you need your real ID now!
It became a meme, circus music, slow-mo edits, and commentators trying not to laugh, but failing. One even chuckled live on air, then realized he was broadcasting and panicked.
Be able to attack and finish inside, and Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it blocked. Give this one to...
We have commentators laughing at this.
Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it blocked.
This isn't an isolated moment. This is the trend. Reese is shooting just 31.5% on layups, despite attempting the 3rd most in the entire league.
Let's take a look, man. So this is what I was talking about in my other video, right? This is late in the game, 4th quarter. And I mean chucking them. She was chucking them, man. Now, it's these type of moments that people use to discredit her great rebounding skills. She's a phenomenal rebounder. Her hustle is crazy. But when you're doing something like this, people aren't gonna take you serious.
That's a professional athlete, a 6'3" forward, missing shots that high school JV players knock down in their sleep. Her overall field goal percentage looks okay at 44%, until you remember nearly all of her shots come from under the basket.
Bang! Lack of awareness combined with a lack of ability to jump, not great! Bang!
Me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow.
Yeah! Again! Do it for me. Rebound! Bang! Okay, new strategy, team. Angel, keep doing your part. Everyone else, go rebound her misses! Bang! If she keeps missing layups at this rate, she's gonna be serving buttermilk pancakes at Denny's. Butter? Did somebody say butter? Butter pecan! Burn! At a certain point, you just got to applaud greatness. A me bound on her back? Are you kidding? Bang! Simon says, give me another pray-up. How about it? Bang! She really hit under the basket on a layup. Get this girl GPS. Bang! Everybody get up on your feet. It's time to meet and greet the most underpaid athlete. Bang!
Most pros hit layups at 70 to 80%. Angel, it's a coin toss. And fans know it. One commentator joked she reminded him of a 3-year-old throwing bricks on a toddler hoop. Painfully accurate and painful to watch. The internet isn't kind, but when you become a walking blooper reel, you can't blame the fans for pressing record.
All that matters to the lonely men who follow Angel Reese on social media is that she looks good. But like I told you guys the other day, an excellent performance from Angel Reese, it is rare. It's like seeing a hole-in-one on a par 5, or locating a flea on an elephant's ass without a microscope. It's possible it might happen once or twice, but it's not something that happens often. And in the case of Angel Reese, it damn sure doesn't happen in back-to-back games.
TikTok now has entire playlists titled Angel Reese Layup Fails with millions of views. One creator posted 36 compilations and counting.
Angel Reese, part 53, let's get it! We love pray-ups. Bang! I heard she wanted to dye her hair, and the stylist said, what color you want? And she said, butter pecan! Bang! She gets blocked by defenders who don't even bother jumping. Me bound. One more time. Bang! She almost had a triple-double. One more turnover, and she would have had it. Bang! 9 turnovers is crazy, so is a no-look poop pass. Oh, no! Bang! Hey, does anyone know how that party rock song goes? Every day I'm shuffling. Do. Bang!
And while that generates clicks, it's not the kind of content that sells performance basketball shoes. Reebok's execs wanted a culture-defining moment. What they got instead was viral infamy. Reebok planned the launch like it was their next Iverson moment. CEO Todd Krinsky even compared Angel Reese to AI and Shaq. The difference? Shaq and Iverson were actually great at basketball. Insiders now say Reebok is panicking. They're considering delaying the launch, rebranding the shoe as lifestyle instead of performance, or scrapping the whole thing. And can you blame them? They can't sell a shoe built for winners when the star can't hit a wide-open layup. It's not just Angel. The Chicago Sky are falling apart too. They're 7-21. They've lost 8 in a row. They're 0-5 when Reese doesn't play, but somehow worse when she does. It's a paradox. Her presence doesn't help, but her absence doesn't either. That's not a star player. That's a liability in sneakers. Even Coach Tyler Marsh is struggling to defend her.
Coach Tyler Marsh, the Chicago Sky coach, finally came out and admitted to the things that I was saying, man. It is crazy. Chicago Sky head coach admits Angel Reese mistake. During his press conference post-game, Sky head coach Tyler Marsh admitted he needed to do a better job facilitating his bigs like Reese and Cardoso. Come on, man. I've got to be better at getting the ball into our post players, Marsh said via Chicago Sky.
He talks about potential and positivity, but when your main contribution is rebounding your own misses and yelling, "You can't guard me," after a brick, there's only so much spin you can apply. Her visibility has skyrocketed, but not for the reasons brands want. When Caitlin Clark sat out a Fever vs. Sky matchup due to injury, ticket prices dropped from $100 to just $5. That's right, Angel Reese couldn't even keep the crowd interested, and yet she still gets the highlight treatment. Just not the highlights she hoped for. It's the kind of fame you don't build a shoe empire on. Reebok now faces a marketing disaster. They've invested millions into a player whose most famous move is missing layups. They backed charisma over consistency, clout over craft. And the result? A potential PR meltdown just waiting for 2026. The worst part, they can't pivot to another player without admitting failure, and they can't keep pushing forward without risking complete embarrassment. They might delay, they might rebrand, but more and more insiders believe they're quietly searching for a way out. Meanwhile, Reese's injury has been a blessing in disguise, giving Reebok's marketing team time to figure out how to spin bloopers into sneaker sales. But time is running out. If the performances don't change, this might become the most humiliating endorsement backfire in modern basketball history. So what do you think? Was Angel Reese always overrated, or did Reebok just make a massive gamble that failed before it ever started? If you're still watching, drop Reebok in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more WNBA drama, deep dives, and breakdowns just like this one. We'll see you in the next video.
Beginning to suspect the Indiana Fever are a better team than the Chicago Sky. Don't ask me why I believe that or think that. It's just a sneaking suspicion that I have. I mean, it could be the fact that the Fever spank them every time they play. Could be that. Maybe it's that. I mean, you know, you can date back to last year, but this year, the Fever spanked the Sky in the season opener. Both teams at full strength. Fever smack them.
Caitlin Clark didn't even step on the court. And Angel Reese's Sky still got humiliated. On their own floor, on their biggest night of the year, inside the United Center, the game they chose to be the main event, it turned into a public execution.
So yesterday, the Fever played the Sky in what was honestly one of the closest games the Indiana Fever have actually had with the Chicago Sky. In over a year. In over a year. This is the closest game. Because if you guys don't know, the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky played 3 times in the month of June last year. One was a 1-point win for the Fever, one was an 8-point win, and one was the Nalissa Smith disaster class where she let Angel Reese basically take over a second half.
So what happened when the Indiana Fever walked into Chicago's house with no Caitlin Clark and walked out with a 93-78 demolition? Let's break down the full humiliation and why this so-called rivalry was just exposed as a fraud.
Defensively, getting after it, steal and score. Offensively, looking aggressive, but efficiently putting the ball in the hoop as the Indiana Fever walk in to Chicago, the United Center, no Caitlin Clark, and they walk out with a W, 93-78. The Chicago Sky, no Angel Reese, no Haley Van Lith. Half their team was out, but it did not matter because our best player was out. So you know what the saying is? Next man up. And we decided to show up while Camila Cardoso decided to no call, no show.
The media loves this storyline. Clark versus Reese, Iowa versus LSU, Indiana versus Chicago. They frame it as Magic versus Bird, the rivalry that will save women's basketball. But when you look at the numbers, the truth is ugly. The Fever have now beaten the Sky 6 out of their last 7 meetings. This season alone, they've won 3 straight by 77 total points. That's not a rivalry. That's domination.
But like Angel Reese tweeted that out, and then the Chicago Sky posted this one right here. We don't care about none of that Sky on top. Back to our original programming. Since that game, this has been the funniest rivalry ever. So, since that game, I just want to see, is there no... Oh, you can't see the history. I'm just going to have to get the Fever versus the Sky up. So, yesterday's game was actually the closest of them all. You might be thinking, man, how is that the closest? How is that the closest game these guys have played since then? It has been. So, if we want to look at the box scores yesterday the Indiana Fever were poor. I thought they were really poor. And honestly, in this game right here, they threw it away. The one the Sky won was just a absolute second half disaster class.
And this game just made it undeniable. Chicago's front office went all in. They booked the United Center, their biggest venue, just for this game. They themed it Barbie Night, built around Angel Reese's brand, filled the arena with pink, launched new merch, hyped it on socials. And Angel Reese didn't even play. The main attraction was in street clothes. And the Indiana Fever turned her big night into Fever Night.
This time around, you know, both teams dealing with injuries. Sky really decimated by injuries, to be fair. Rachel Banham carrying the slack a lot for them. but Caitlin Clark's still out for the Fever. And once again, the Fever spanked the Sky. So no matter what context, what part of the season, however you want to frame it, the Fever are a better team than the Chicago Sky, and the Fever are starting to really find their stride. They're really starting to find their stride. Obviously, they're able to get into a little bit of a rhythm without Caitlin Clark, knowing Caitlin Clark is going to be out for a minute. That's something Sophie Cunningham talked about after the last game. And good thing for them, they still have Kelsey Mitchell in the backcourt.
They didn't just win, they owned the building. Fever fans took over, memes exploded, and the Sky got steamrolled.
Caitlin Clark spent 20 minutes signing autographs. She made her way 2/3 of the arena. She signed literally hundreds of autographs. She signed hundreds of autographs. And if you guys didn't see that game today, there were as many Fever fans as there were Sky fans. So Caitlin Clark is not playing the game. And like, by the way, like, people didn't know whether or not Caitlin was playing that game until the very end. There are hundreds of fans that were there to see Caitlin Clark play on the on the off chance Caitlin Clark would be able to sign something. She was there. She spent like 20 minutes autographing everything.
With Caitlin Clark out, the pressure was on Kelsey Mitchell, and she delivered one of the best performances of the entire WNBA season. 35 points, 12 of 19 from the field, 7 out of 10 from 3.
Kelsey Mitchell, 7 for 10 from the 3-point line. Off the start, 8 points quick. You knew, oh, Kelsey Mitchell's hot today. Oh, Kelsey Mitchell's hot today. This might be her game. Let's keep the hot hand in. Let's keep the hot hand going. Let's set her some big body screens, get her open. Kelsey Mitchell, she did it all. 7 for 10 from the 3-point line. She got to the rack. She got to the free throw line, carving up the defense, looking like a little snake, how she just slithers in and out of that defense. Kelsey Mitchell, salute to you. Late in the game, as the Chicago Sky were thinking to themselves, we might actually come back to the game, Kelsey Mitchell says, slow your roll. Slow down there. You thought you were going to come back in. No, you're not coming back into this game. Not now, not ever.
That's 70% from deep on a night when the Fever needed a closer. And she didn't just put up numbers, she made franchise history, joining Caitlin Clark as the only players in Fever history to have 35-plus points, 5-plus assists, and 5-plus threes in a game. On Barbie night, it became Mitchell night. But Mitchell wasn't alone. Michaela Timpson had a breakout night, 14 points on 6 of 8 shooting.
Michaela Timpson, she outplayed Camila Cardoso. Offensively, outplayed her. Defensively, outplayed her. Camila Cardoso, 11 points in the first half. What'd she have? 1 point in the second half. She disappeared, did her own little magic trick on Barbie night. And for my next act, poof, watch me disappear.
Chloe Beebe, signed just days before on a 7-day contract, dropped 8 points in 10 minutes. Aaliyah Boston dominated with another double-double. 14 points, 11 rebounds, plus 6 assists and 2 blocks. Even Lexi Hull came through in the clutch, knocking down shots every time Chicago tried to build momentum. And the best part, Caitlin Clark was in street clothes the entire game, cheering on her teammates, signing over 200 autographs, and still managing to be the biggest star in the building. That's what real star power looks like. Meanwhile, Chicago looked lost. Coach Tyler Marsh admitted post-game that his team wasn't executing and kept making the same mistakes. Rachel Baum literally said they had a screw-it mentality going into the game. When your own players admit they weren't mentally prepared, that's not a rivalry, that's a meltdown. Let's be real, Chicago didn't just lose a game, they lost control of their own narrative. This night was supposed to belong to Angel Reese. The theme, the merch, the message, all designed to spotlight her. Instead, Fever fans renamed it Fever Night. TikToks and tweets clowned the Sky. The most viral moment wasn't a Chicago highlight. It was Caitlin Clark on the sideline being mobbed by fans while her teammates ran up the score. This game told us everything we need to know. The Fever are building something serious. With Clark out, Mitchell steps up. The rookies perform, Boston anchors the defense, and everyone buys into the system. They've now won 3 straight against the Sky. Home, away, it doesn't matter. Chicago, on the other hand, has lost 5 in a row. Their playoff hopes are collapsing. And this supposed rivalry, it's just making them look worse every time. When Caitlin Clark returns, healthy, rested, and locked in, the Fever will be a nightmare for any team in the East. They're already third in the conference, just 2 games behind Atlanta. They've learned to win without her. Now imagine them at full strength. Caitlin Clark didn't even need to play, and she still dominated the night. So if you're still watching, drop Fever Night in the comments and let the league know this rivalry is officially over.
It looked like Nafisa Collier is in serious hot water after lying on Caitlin Clark on national television. Well, I'm here to tell you, Nafisa Collier just told on herself. I mean, she exposed herself as a liar, bro. I mean, she just let the cat out the bag.
Caitlin Clark didn't say a word, but somehow she just humiliated Nafisa Collier in front of the entire world. And the cameras caught everything.
So currently there's a clip going viral right now regarding Nafisa Collier. I have yet to watch it. We're going to watch it together. Now, it's in regards to the fans. And if this is scary, you got to understand this is not just a basketball player. Unrivaled is 1 season in. This is one of the owners. And it's just like, yo, you need every damn fan to watch, to go there to support, period. You should not be saying nothing about fans unless it's in a positive light. I don't care if you hate fans. You better lie. You better lie. You do not need to be saying nothing bad about the fans.
If you're riding with Caitlin Clark and sick of all the veteran whining, drop Team Caitlin in the comments right now. Let's see how many of you are done with this fake victim act. Because this wasn't just one bad quote. Nafisa exposed everything wrong with the old WNBA mindset.
For too long, have they been able to hide in their little bubble, sit by themselves in their own little safe space, shielded from true sports conversation, true sports fandom, that now that the fandom, the conversation has finally arrived, they are so taken aback, they are calling it toxicity. Fans cheer, fans boo, and that's toxicity.
And Caitlin, she didn't even need to respond. The fans did that for her. But this wasn't just a one-time embarrassment. It was a public unraveling. A top WNBA star exposed herself on live air, and fans instantly turned against her. What exactly did she say that triggered a full-blown backlash? And why does Caitlin Clark come out looking like the winner? Nafisa Collier sat down with Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe on their podcast. What was supposed to be a reflective discussion turned into a moment that lit the internet on fire. Collier, without naming names, called today's WNBA fan base toxic, complaining about hatred, polarization, and negativity in the league.
You know what?
Just like,
sorry, not to interrupt you. You know what is kind of surprising and disappointing, honestly? It is getting so toxic, I feel like, in our league, with a lot of the fans going back and forth. Like, basketball and sports are supposed to be so unifying, and it is so toxic. Like, every game, just, it's like hatred out there towards other players, and not just, you know, like Angel and Caitlin. Like, that they are the OGs where people will get so like polarizing with, but it's with everyone, and people are just so nasty on there. And it's like, we're playing a game. We are playing a game, and you are saying hateful things about players. Like, I don't know, that has been like really surprising. I feel like we're trending in a really bad spot with that.
But viewers weren't buying it. Why? Because just days earlier, these same toxic fans were packing arenas and setting WNBA ratings records because of one person, Caitlin Clark. While Collier aired grievances, Caitlin Clark was busy packing stadiums, breaking attendance records, and selling out jerseys across the country. The Indiana Fever's games are now must-see events, not just in Indiana, but in every single city they visit. In contrast, Collier's Minnesota Lynx sit near the bottom in attendance despite their winning record. A team that plays in a 19,000-seat arena barely draws 9,000 fans a night, and that's with Collier as the face. So when she complained about fan hatred, fans fired back with numbers, receipts, and frustration. This wasn't toxicity. It was attention. It was passion. It was growth.
Fans critique players, fans criticize how players play, and that's considered toxicity. And Nafisa Collier, on her most recent appearance on a podcast with Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe, she reaffirms the belief that many newcomers to this league has had, that these players are just not ready for the spotlight to be shined on them.
Collier may have expected support for her comments. Instead, she was met with criticism, even from former and current players. The message was simple. You asked for fans. Now you've got them. Why are you complaining? Former players like Courtney Williams explain that booing isn't hate, it's respect.
And honestly, first of all, Sudbuzz, I know we're getting that. Courtney has the thickest skin of anyone I've ever met. She truly does not care what people think about her.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's a skill. That's a skill I wish I had. Yeah.
And it's not an act. She just really doesn't care.
NBA stars like LeBron James and Kyrie Irving get booed every night. So do MLB and NFL legends, but they never called it toxic. The contrast became clear. Caitlin Clark embraces the noise. She plays through it. She feeds off it. Collier, she's collapsing under it.
First and foremost, you want to talk about toxic? Because fans going back and forth, that's just words. That's just online. What about y'all? We watched y'all beat the shit out of a girl for a season and a half to the point that she's not even playing right now. And she's the most important person in your league. We watched y'all eye gouge. We watched y'all choke slam Angel Reese. We watched y'all pull Angel Reese's hair. Like, what are we talking about? Y'all are down there damn near playing football with each other. Y'all are drop kicking people, elbow smashing people, clotheslining people. What are we talking about? People have lost their teeth messing around with this basketball league. I know you are not going to sit here and say it's the fans' fault. Hell, your own coach is toxic. Your coach, Nafisa, are you serious?
In one podcast clip, Collier confirmed what fans feared, that some WNBA stars want the perks of fame without the pressure. Her words didn't just land poorly. They revealed a divide in the league between the old guard clinging to the past.
In the MLB, in the NFL, in the NBA, a player returns, they get booed, we move on. A player demands a trade, gets traded, comes back, gets booed, and we move on. But here in the WNBA, this is a new concept. This is a foreign idea. Stop feeding into the nonsense like professionals in the other sports do. But the ladies within the WNBA are so bought into drama, they're so invested into the gossip around this league, they can't help themselves. So they see it all day, every day. They'll take two fans interacting in typical fan manners and say, oh my gosh, this is so toxic over here.
And a new wave, led by Caitlin Clark, pulling the league into the spotlight. Collier's comments were supposed to unify the league. Instead, they drew a sharp line in the sand. And that line exposed a brutal truth. This league doesn't revolve around her anymore. Caitlin didn't clap back. She didn't respond in interviews. She didn't tweet. She just played. She dropped 30-point games. She smiled through boos. She sold out every arena she stepped in. And most importantly, she never blamed the fans. That's why fans love her. That's why the media covers her. That's why her jersey sells out and her face is everywhere. And that's why Nafisa Collier, without realizing it, handed Caitlin Clark the crown on live air. If you're still watching, comment 100% for Caitlin to show you ride with the new face of the WNBA. Because while others are whining in interviews, Caitlin Clark is quietly taking over the entire league.